Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am posting this video after a very long time. I have been busy with my flying schedule and that's why I could not post videos as I have been getting comments to keep posting and keep teaching. So this video is going to be about instrument flying and which will also be helping you in your navigation exam. So we'll be studying about holding patterns and entries, how to enter in a hold and how to make a hold after entering and how to identify that entry. So uh, as you can see on the screen, this is what a hold look like. So we will make two arrows so that you don't get confused. So the arrows that you see are what you have to follow to be in a hold. So सबसे पहली बात होल्ड्स हम क्यों बनाते हैं? Suppose you have been on an approach and for some reason you were not able to land. So you'll have to follow a missed approach procedure followed by which you'll have to make a hold if the ATC tells you that there is another aircraft on finals. You have to hold for some time over the over some particular area or over the runway, which is also called being overhead. Okay, so for every airport there is a different holding pattern radial and for which category aircraft are you making a hold, at what distance do you have to make that hold, for how long do you have to make that hold. Okay, so here I'm going to divide this hold in three sections if you assume. And first of all, before entering to sections and entry patterns, there are two types of holds. Okay, so first is your standard hold, and one is your non-standard hold. What is the difference between both, if you may ask, is that a standard hold will always be to your right side. And by that I mean with the photo that we're looking at. So this is a standard hold. If we're being asked to make a non-standard hold, that means the hold will be something like this. I'm sorry for my drawing. So if the standard hold says you have to make every turn to your right, here it will mean you have to turn towards the left. So suppose this is your starting point, this is your viewer, and you fly here, then here, then here, and here, something like this. So we'll not get into a left holding pattern. Let's just understand what a hold is and how do you make entries. And with this we'll also have to learn how to read a Jepson chart. And what is a Jepson chart, if you may assume, if you may ask, I will just show you a picture. So this picture that you see on screen is known as the Jepson chart. Each airspace, or let me say runway, each runway has its own individual Jepson chart. If we're taking one runway which has let's say 09er and 27 orientation. So for 09er there will be a different Jepson chart, and for 27 there will be another chart. And for ILS approach you'll have a different chart, and for VOR approach you'll have a different chart. So to enter a hold or to make a DME arc, which is all included in your instrument flying profiles, you need to know how to read this chart. If you know, then only you can make a holding pattern or a DME arc. Or if you want to fly instrument flying, then you need to understand how to read this chart. So I will be making another video for this particular reading of chart, and I can show you three types of images here. So this chart that we see, it is for Nagpur. Okay, Nagpur, India, ILS approach Zulu for runway 32. And there is something known as ILS Yankee and there is something known as ILS Zulu. So this one is for ILS Zulu runway 34. Okay, correction, runway 32. So all the things that you need to make ILS landing is given in this chart. All your elevation is given, your mean sector altitude is given, your radials, lead radials, and your DME distances, at what distance where you have to be particularly to be on profile. Then your feet, how many feet you have to lose per nautical mile, it is also given here. And for all the categories of aircraft, A, B, C, D, whatever category your aircraft is, what should be the RVR and runway visual range is also given here. And next chart you see is for Nagpur VOR approach runway 14. So 32 is this side and 14 is this side. So if you land from here, you'll be looking at the chart for 32. If you land from here, you'll be looking at the chart for 14. And this is a VOR approach. That means it's not completely looking inside. ILS approach means that you'll be looking inside, totally inside in your cockpit, and you'll be flying and landing the aircraft. Same as ILS, VOR also is a little bit same, but you can look outside after a little time, after you're on a certain profile. And all the missed approach procedure is given here, runway elevation is given, mean sector altitude is given, everything is given here. So in my next video, I'll be covering how to read a chart. And these are the only two charts that I have right now. And if you look at this image, this is for Nagpur VOR Zulu runway 32. Okay, so we just read for Nagpur VOR runway 14. This is for 32. So let's get back to our VOR holds. Okay, so standard hold and non-standard hold, now we know what it means. And we'll just talk about our standard holds. So for a standard hold, you will be subtracting 30 degrees from everything. So what does that mean? I'll tell you a little later afterwards. So just look at the entries for now. There are three types of entries. One is your direct entry. Second one will be your teardrop. And third one will be your parallel. And then we have to identify. So to firstly identify one entry, you need to know what radial you are on, or there are two types of ways which I'll teach today. One will be looking at your RMI, which is on your system, on your Garmin or whatever plane you're flying. And the second one is by looking at the Jepson chart, your lead radials, everything. So this photo, if you look here, is RMI is basically this circle that you see that I've drawn. Let's take another color. The red color that you see, the red circle, this is your RMI. So right now, if you look at this, if you know how to read, that's good. If you don't know how to read this, I'll explain a little bit. So here, this cyan color, the blue color that you see, the box here made is the radial we're on. Okay, so suppose somebody asks which radial are you on. So you will be saying this is 300, this is 310, this is 320, and this is 330. So you will be on radial 320. So we know how to identify our radian. This is easy, okay? And now if we need to know which entry are we coming in from, so I have been taught two ways. First way is if you've gone for some instrument flying flights, you will know that your head will start to ache a little bit because you just have to look inside all the time in a computer like screen for 1 hour straight or 2 hours straight, depending on your sortie profile. And it's a little bit confusing up there for you to subtract and add and do everything, make all the entries and everything. Where do I have to come from? Where do I have to take exit from? So one way is your thumb rule. So this is your thumb. This is, I'm talking for the standard entry. So we take the thumb and this is my right thumb, right hand, and we're in a right hand holding pattern, which is our standard pattern, right? So you just take the thumb and you keep it on your RMI's south point. So by south point, this is where I mean. You keep the thumb here. Okay, easy. Till now it is easy. And now where do I have to draw a line in my head so that I know how to identify the three entries? So let's just keep this in my mind that I'll be keeping my thumb here. Now, if you come back here, I will just erase this and let's erase this. Now, with a black color, I have made this small black point. So let's assume this is our viewer and I'll be making a hole. Our runway in use is 27. Okay, so runway 27 is in use. So right now, this does not matter which runway is in use, but we're just taking our viewer. So you just have to make a line cutting the holding pattern like this. This is a straight line. This you can also call this a normal. Okay, for all the science students, normal, we know what is it, like the light reflects and the normal crosses and it goes out with the cutting the normal, and this is the normal line, same. Then you have to do nothing, just take this line and bend it like this. We will draw a line like this. Easy. And now we have three types of entries here. So first entries are direct entry. So just write here, what does a direct entry means? It means a 180 degree. Teardrop means 70 degrees and a parallel entry means 110 degrees. Now we will extend this line. Okay, so let's take another color. So this red line that I'm drawing is our outbound course. Okay, so I'll just write here. This is our outbound course. So if you're coming from anywhere in this red region, this is going to be your direct entry. Okay, so that means 180 degrees. Now, if you take another color, let's take green, and I'm just going to draw it here. This will be your teardrop entry, which means what? A 70 degree of angle. Direct was what? A 180 degree of angle. And let me take another color once again, and we'll draw it with a yellow color, which will give you your parallel entry, which is for 110 degrees. So now we know how to cut our hold in 3 entry patterns. Till now it was easy enough. Okay, so now comes the tricky part. How do you know where are you coming from, and how do you know it will be a direct entry, a 70 degree teardrop entry, or a parallel entry? Now, to identify this, first of all, you fly over the fix. Now, what does fix mean here? This red color dot that I drew earlier, this is your fix. Wherever you are, if you're coming from here, if you're coming from here, if you're coming from here, here or here, you have to come and fly over the fix. Then you have to identify 2 nautical mile before how to you'll be able to identify 2 nautical mile before which entry pattern will it be. So now a little bit confusing for all the new people learning this, so we'll take one more example and I'll draw a simple pattern first. I've taken a black color. This is our fix. I'm drawing my outbound course. This is where we'll fly. This is our inbound, this is our outbound heading and this is our inbound course. I'll correct myself here also. This is our inbound course. You fly till here and you go towards here. Okay, so first we'll see the direct entry. So you draw a normal, you extend this line and you cut the holding pattern. This angle that the holding pattern is making is your 180 degrees. So if you see, how am I cutting this 180, 70 and 110 degrees in 3 patterns? If you observe a circle, it will be of a 360 degrees, correct? Now I have cut this circle into 110 degree. This is your 110. If you cut it in one more piece, this will be a 70 degree. So if you add up 180 and 70, the rest remaining will automatically become 110 to make a full circle. That's what we're doing in a holding pattern. We're just cutting a circle in 3 parts so that we can easily come for a holding pattern. Okay, so let's just remove this. Okay, so let's assume my aircraft is coming over here from here. This is our teeny tiny aircraft. Let me just zoom in for you. And we're coming from here and heading towards the station. Now, 180 degrees coverage is like a semicircle. This, my hand, is 180 degree flat. Now, what you have to do when you enter this fix, you do nothing. Like I said before, you have to keep flying towards the fix, right? Then we take a turn towards right. We fly again for a while and then again we take a turn towards right and we fly for a while. Now, how do you know when to turn and how much to turn and till when to turn? Okay, so I'm going to take some radial for example here. Okay, so let's take 0, 9 or 0 degrees for example. This orientation is of 0, 9 or 0. So that means my inbound course, which is identified here by a red color arrow, is your inbound course. That means you're on 0, 9 or 0 is your inbound course. So if you flip it the other way around, it will come as 270. So let's take another color. The yellow color is for 270 and the red color is for your 0, 9 or 0. Okay. This is your 180 degrees. Okay, so your when you come over the fix, let's suppose this okay, so this charger is my fix and I'm coming from anywhere and I'm flying over this charger. As soon as you fly over this black dot, your aircraft's RMI needle the needle which I showed above here, this will flip. I will tell you exactly what flips. Let's take a green color. So this tiny needle that I have drawn here, this is called a to or from flag. That means you're going towards the station or from the station. So in this case, which you're looking at, the RMI is telling you that you're going towards the station. That means you're going towards the fix. All right. So coming back to our pattern. So if we're flying towards the fix, what does that mean? It will flip the flag to from, and then it will come to from. You were flying here towards, then you'll go outwards. You'll go outbound. Okay. So that's why we took 090 as our inbound course and 270 as our outbound course. I'll just write this also. Outbound course as 270. You add 180 degrees. Okay. So how do you know when to turn and how much to turn? So in instrument flying, all the turns are rate 1 turn. Okay. So what is a rate 1 turn? So I'll just write here a rate 1 turn. A rate 1 turn means that in 1 minute or 60 seconds, you are flying 180 degrees. That means half a circle. And for if you fly for 2 minutes, 120 seconds, you'll be flying a whole circle. You'll be making a whole circle. That is for 360 degrees. So here we have to fly 1 minute. Okay, just 1 minute. And how do you know how to make a rate 1 turn? Again, the RMI here, this circle helps you. There are 2 ways to take a rate 1 turn. One way is by dividing the task by 10%. Or I think it was 1%. I don't do that method because it is not very correct. And if you do this method, which I'll just tell you now, this bracket that you see, the black bracket, we'll just focus on this bracket. Let's remove it and I'll make one here. So this, wait. This is my RMI, right? It shows here east, here 6, here 12, and this is our needle. Correct? Somewhat like this. And just above this is a column made like this, which has three lines, like 5 lines. And here it is showing your heading bug 095. Correct? So when you take a turn towards right, that means this side. So there will be a line coming. You just have to touch this line to the end one. This will be your exact rate 1 turns degree of angle of bank. If you're turning till here, till the blue point, it will the angle of bank will decrease and the time for your rate 1 turn will increase, and you won't be able to make a perfect holding pattern. So that's why we take rate 1 turns always when we're flying in IR, instrument. Okay. Then let's come back to our heading. So as soon as you reach in the blue point, the flag will flip 2 times. And when it flips to from, so the needle will come downwards, that's when you'll know you'll have to do a rate 1 turn. Now, you have to start your timer for 1 minute and keep turning, keep touching that magenta line to the end line, and we'll come to our heading of 270. which is our outbound. So just so you don't get confused, I'll write outbound heading here, not course. So in heading, we'll keep 270, but in course, we'll change it to 090. So let's say we flew for 1 minute and we're on our heading 270. Now, how do you know how much time do you have to fly on this heading, this particular heading, and then turn again for coming here, correct? So again, in a hold, every leg has to be for 1 minute. So this is a leg, this is a leg, this is a leg, and this is a leg. 4 legs all have to be for 1 minute. That means 4 minutes for one hold. So this was our direct entry. So I hope you understood the first entry pattern that we studied, and in my next video I'll be covering the other 2 patterns, which is teardrop and parallel. So that's it for this video, and I hope you like it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and if you feel somebody needs to brush up their skills for instrument flying, you can share this video with them. Thanks for watching.